Hi, I'm good. Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day. Today, I'm going to do an upcoming video about Erika Kirk, born November 20th, 1988. She has two children. They say she has two children with Charlie Kirk. She was married to him. She's 39. She was born November 20th, 1988. So I'm going to ask about her. When she's married to him, did they have a good relationship? Please tell me. Did they have a good relationship? Please tell me. Did Erika have a good relationship with him, with Charlie Kirk? Please tell me. Did Erika have a good relationship with Charlie Kirk? Please tell me. Did Erika have a good relationship? I'm gonna do four cards on the front for the past, her past and present. Past. And I'm also going to be doing, that would be his in the black, and the four is going to be, hers is in the front and his is here. That's hers and that's his. Please tell me, did they have a good relationship? Please. Please tell me. Did she have a good relationship? All right. In the past. Whoa. Hold on. He didn't. Oops, sorry. This is the lovers and the devil. Bondage. He thought she was. He thought she was addicted to some kind of drug, like taking alcohol or smoking pot or anything in the relationship. That they like to get drugged up, and she was also very depressed in the he was depressed in the relationship. He was not happy in the relationship in the past. In the past, he wasn't, and he she knew that he had money and he would be a good role model in the relationship, because he was a big person, in that religion thing, and also he criticized her, I feel like she criticized him about how she was being treated, and she was an emotional person. She was a very emotional person. This her Erika, she was very, and it says bitchy. This is entertainment purpose only. She says she says that she could be very bitchy. She thought she could be very bitchy. She could be bitchy. And he thought that these are two evils. So he wasn't happy in this relationship. He thought that she was less of the two evils, thinking he was a jerk at one time. She was a jerk, and sometimes the way she acted toward him, she thought he was and wasn't sure if she should stay. He was wondering if he should stay in this marriage. He wasn't sure if he was happy in this relationship and this marriage, and also he had secrets, in their marriage. Like he didn't want to stay married in the relationship, and he was withdrawn. Like he wasn't happy. He was not happy in this marriage. He didn't want to stay in it. He thought she was selfish and he cared only about herself. And he was silenced and thought she was very shallow and only cared about himself. That's what she felt. Yeah. And he felt like she misunderstood him. And she was wise. She thought she was wise about the money and excess, lack of planning. She was not a very good planner when it came to being with her husband or the money, because he was the one in charge before he died. Yeah, poor planning, and she was lazy when it came to the finances. She doesn't have the smarts for that. Finances, the money thing, and there were delays in the relationship. She wasn't happy in it either. She wanted to leave too. She didn't want to stay in this relationship. She thought this marriage was a failure too. This is in the past. And he had energy, he liked to say things and do things. Like, he was an actionating person. He was. And he was a passionate person. And then when it was the present, well, he was Joe Erika. When his present, while he was still alive, his present, his present, he was moody because the way she came across, like, pretended she was nice and caring when she really wasn't. He thought she was kind of, not a nice person to him. And he was kind of jealous that she wanted to be in the spotlight, and he liked to be the one in the spotlight. And she was adaptable. She could be in the spotlight or not be in the spotlight. And she also did multiple tasks, being the mother and in the family, raising the kids. She liked to be the mother. She thought she was very nurturing to the kids, and she would be developed into a good mother. And celebrity joy. She tried to have a happy marriage in a nice home life with her kids and with Charlie. But she was very greedy. She's a greedy person. She's superficial. She cares about people's money, the looks, how people dress and everything. Erika, she's very greedy. She's narcissistic. That's greed. She cares about things. She protects. From the past, she gives up control. She doesn't like to give up control of how she lives and the way she is. She doesn't want to give up the way her lifestyle is. And there were delays in their marriage. Like, he didn't really want to stay in this marriage, but he was stuck in the marriage, because he didn't know how to get a divorce, and he was afraid because he was in that religion where he was afraid that people wouldn't like him, because if he left, he wouldn't make a good role model. And Erika thought she was lucky that she hit the jackpot when she married with Chris, but she thought there was going to be a turning point. Even if they get a divorce, she would ask for a lot of money. But he wanted a partner who was a team player, and he wanted someone to learn and build with, not someone who is self-centered. He wanted someone, so he was not happy in this relationship. No, he wasn't. He was not happy. He wanted someone to be a team player. And she was very selfish. Erika's a very selfish person. That's what he thinks. So I'm going to ask, is she a narcissistic? Is she, I'm putting these cards, I have to put them. Is Erika narcissistic? Let's see, entertainment purposes. I might make another video on her and her husband who passed away. Is Erica a narcissistic? Please tell me. Is she a narcissistic person? Is she selfish? It says she was greedy and cares about money, and please tell me. Is Erica a person who cares about her image? I'm doing 4 cards. Please tell me, is Erica narcissistic? And I'm gonna do 2 cards of these because I love them. Please, is she a narcissistic person? Is she narcissistic? All right. All right. All right. I'll see. Self-care. She cares only about herself. She doesn't want to have to pay debts, money problems. She had money problems with her husband, and when he passed away, I guess his debts became her debts, and she had to one side charity. She only cares about herself and spending money and making money to spend money. Like the saying goes, I'm going to make money to spend money. So she likes to spend money on herself, and she likes money and power. And she likes to be dominating, the one in charge of the thing. She didn't want her husband to be. So, and resistance to change. She doesn't like the change, like of a lifestyle, like a husband dying to change. She was holding on for dear life in this marriage, even though he wasn't happy in this. In decay, personal transformation. So she had to transformation, and because he died, and she had to go on the stage and speak and talk. Good luck and good form. A good karma's going to come her way. Maybe she'll write a book about her life being married, or her life in the church and becoming more famous. Maybe she'll be on YouTube, on the news. Inner strength. She is some weakness, like when she was married, she was weak. She thought she was weak, like she couldn't stand on her own. She was an insecure person. And she has pride, though. She cares about herself. She's prideful. She cares about herself. And the black cat says, look, magic, alternative. So she's into black magic. So she's into black magic. And she's also rebalance herself. After her husband died, she took over his that charity he belonged to and stuff like that. The gift of scared sight. Maybe she had a premonition that her husband was going to die, and she thinks she's the type of person who is psychic, so she thinks she has the gift. That's what the cards say. Entertainment purposes. So it doesn't say. Sometimes that happens. Entertainment purposes. I'm going to ask a question. This is kind of controversial. A couple ones. Is her kids hers? Can she have children? I'll ask her. Can you have children? Are those children that you have yours? Are the children you had yours? With Charlie? I'll do 5. Let's see. She wanted an accomplishment. She wanted to be able to have children and take care of them and show that she would have good values. The Republican Party having good values. She wanted harmony. She liked to travel. She wanted to be a good role model, travel with the kids. Mystery awareness. There's mystery in the idea of if she had these children. Like there's a mystery. Like maybe she didn't have the children. She had feminine scared. She lack of patience. She didn't have patience of having children. She's not the very nurturing type of person when it comes to children. She's not a very nurturing person. She doesn't have a lot of patience with these kids. And like I said, she's unconscious and unaware of how she treats her kids, so she's not the best mother, I guess. Um, there was uncertainty if she could have children. Maybe she couldn't have children in the way, so she had to be in fertilization. So she had, it was a rebirth, and she had to set a rebirth. Maybe she would have to have artificial insemination, or have someone be a surrogate for her, because that's a rebirth. And she's a very moody person, waiting to want to have children. She didn't want to wait, for to have children. And she's very intolerant about these kids and how they act, and she's a very intolerant person. And she's a very emotional person. She's very moody. She can get pissed off very easily, and she was pissed off having to wait if she has children. She didn't do well if there was morning sickness, if she had kids. And strength, courage, compassion. She thinks she also is a compassion person. Even though she's a moody person, she can be compassionate and caring. It doesn't say right now that she can't have children, but I'm going to ask one more time. Please tell me, can she have children? It says that there's mystery in the idea if she can have children. So there might be some secrets and mystery that there's another way she had to have children, like artificial insemination or adoption. It doesn't say there was mystery in that way. So maybe she couldn't have it. I'll see if I can. Entertainment purposes, I'll try one more time. If it doesn't tell me, maybe some other time. Please, can she have children? Can Erika can have children? Or, yeah, please tell me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, here we go. There was conflict on how to have children. She wasn't happy that they found out that maybe she couldn't have children, and he could. I'll ask if he could. And she was upset. Upset that there could be a chance that she couldn't have children. Like, how dare you tell me, doctors, that I might not be able to have children, like, how dare you? And also this disharmony that the doctors probably had to tell her that she couldn't have children. But she loves herself. She says, "Oh, I want children to be like me." Oh boy. And security. She wanted people not to know that if she if she couldn't have kids natural, that she didn't want people to know, basically. And she wanted a family because Joe wanted a family, so she wanted a family. Also, the finances. Maybe they would do artificial insemination if they couldn't do that, to do secretly, that they would adopt children, and they didn't want people to know because of, they work for a charity and that organization. They would look down on them because they're very traditional people, and they think artificial or adoption isn't right, or surrogate. Yeah, like I said, there's conflict on the chance of her having children. She probably couldn't have them, and Joe wanted them, and she felt very impatient on the idea of not being able to have children, like I said before. And she did risky behavior. Maybe she thought of maybe just having someone, maybe if she can't do it, maybe she would have a surrogate do it, or doing it. And she did risky behavior. Balance. She wanted to find balance in the relationship because she was afraid if she couldn't have children with Charlie, that he would divorce her. So he wanted to find balance, and and also there was a new beginning. Maybe the new beginning was to have more children, and he wanted more children with her. And there's negative patterns because of the way she treated Joe and the children. So she wanted children. It says that I think she has a hard time having children. Maybe she had to do artificial or surrogate or something. stuff. I'm gonna see. Could Joe have? I mean, Charlie. Sorry, I keep on saying Joe. Could Charlie have children? Please tell me. Can Charlie have children? Could yeah. I mean, yeah. Could he have children with her? Hold on for a second. Yeah, Charlie Kirk. Could Charlie Kirk have children? Please tell me, could Charlie Kirk have children? Because he wanted them. He wanted to be a good father. He was ready to settle down. It said he thought it was greedy in the sense that people would want a lot of money if he had children, and they thought that he would have to give up his control of the money if he wanted to have kids, you know, and he thought of his past. Maybe people knew something in his past, so they would be greedy, you know, and they knew something about him, about having children, about it, and they would ask for money. I feel like they know something about him, not about his, you know, his sperm, if he can have children. So they might know something about that. Luck. He was hoping that luck would change if he could have children, be a sperm. So yeah, he was hoping that destiny in his life would change, that he could have children. He was hoping for, because he thought he had an all right childhood. He thought he would be a good parent. He had good innocent memories of his childhood. He wanted to bring that with his own children, but there were arguments in his marriage, you know, and he wasn't sure if he wanted to bring kids into a life with Erika, because they fought a lot. Well, that's interesting. They were going to break up, you know. She would break up, struggle, family despair. There were family problems in the marriage. That's interesting. He was not happy. And he wanted a divorce. Oh my God. He wanted to divorce her. He didn't like the conflicts. Burden. He was burdened with the responsibility of being a parent and having kids, you know, with us him being a single parent, you know, like him being the one who has to raise the kids. Because it seems like in the other reading I read, she's not a person who wants to be the person who raised the kids. So he was worried that he'd be the one holding the bag. He'd be the main person raising the kid instead of Erika. He was afraid, Charlie was afraid he'd be the one, and it felt like a burden of a steady struggle, and he'd have to do a lot of hard work. You know, he'd probably have to have family members help him raise his kids, because she wouldn't. I'm gonna, it doesn't say that, but I'm gonna ask another question. Did Erika cheat on Joe during their marriage? Did Erika cheat on Charlie during their marriage? Did she cheat? Because I heard that she was a flirt. Did she cheat? Did she cheat on him? It says yes, but there were problems before they had children anyway, during the marriage. You know, it was just pretending, you know, for the cameras and for the charity. They had problems in their marriage. It was falling apart. You know, finances. I think he wanted to spend less money on the church and stuff, and wanted to do his own projects, and she wanted money. She wanted financing, the church financing her and the children, and he didn't want to spend so much money on the church and that organization that belongs to, and he felt lost like this. God, his marriage is in the toilet. He felt his marriage is in the toilet. Also, he thought there were delays in the marriage. He thought, oh God, am I going to be stuck in this loveless marriage? I felt like he didn't want to be in this marriage anymore. He wanted to leave. And false prophecy. Maybe he thought that maybe someone would be coming out to get him. I'll look that up. Harmony. He wanted harmony in his marriage. He didn't like the fighting. He wanted to be a good influence to people. Consecrate balance. He thought he was a generous person. He thought he was a kind and democratic person, democracy. He cared about other people, and she thought she did too. I'm doing both. Overwhelmed. They were both very overwhelmed in this marriage because they both thought they were the given and the taker instead. And they overextended. He wanted to leave this marriage. Before he died, he wanted to leave this marriage. He wanted to go a la vista. Did that guy really? I'm going to look up him. I know this is Erika, but I'm going to look up. When it came to Charlie, the guy who killed him, was that really him, the hitman, like what happened with John F. Kennedy? Was the guy who killed him really the gay guy? Did he really have the thing to do with Charlie being assassinated? If it doesn't tell me, it's not in the mood to tell me, maybe in the future. Yeah. Please tell me, was he the one who had to do with it? The main one? Whoa. No, he was not the whole one. People were critical of him. They wanted to pin it on him. The guy who they said shot him, Charlie. They were critical. They're emotional. They wanted to get his name out there, not anybody else. Look into anybody else, like it could be anybody from his circle, from Joe's circle, and they thought he thinks the people are cold-hearted, not finding out the truth about his death, and he felt like he was in danger sometimes. I think he thought the people were being very greedy, caring about only what they want, and he wanted to change that. He thought they wanted to give up. He didn't want to give up control of him being in that charity. He didn't want to give up the charity. He wasn't so sure if he wanted to give it up, but they wanted him to give it up. The people who ran it. The people who ran it wanted, and there were problems because he knew that there were money problems. There were failure finances. Charlie knew there were problems with the money. Maybe he thought someone was putting the hand in the cookie jar, and that's part of the reason why he got killed. And there were feuds with his immediate family, with his wife. There was finance, Lakama. He hoped things would get better in his relationship with her and the church. He wanted things. Involved delay. There's been delays on finding out who the real killer is. Like he doesn't think it's this guy. I don't think. I'll ask. Does he think this guy? Did Charlie think the guy who shot him was the guy that they saying is? Because this says it isn't. Oof. No, he doesn't think this guy would. He was unhappy in his marriage. He wanted to leave his marriage. He was unhappy in this relationship. He thought it was toxic. He also thought being in this charity thing was toxic. I think he wasn't happy there. And he was a rebellion. He doesn't think the guy did it. He thought the guy just talked the talk and he wasn't gonna do it. He just threatened that he was gonna shoot him. He doesn't think he did it. He had his personal beliefs. He was a liberal. This guy who shot Charlie was a liberal, and about his partner. He thought he just was speaking his thing. But there were arguments. Maybe they had an argument, or if he did shoot him, it was an accident, and someone else he threatened to shoot him. There were arguments. Maybe the people in his staff. I'm going to look up that. He was doubtful that this kid did it. This young person did it. He just thinks people are trying to destroy this kid. He's going to end up in prison. They didn't want to look for anybody else. They just looked for one gunman. They didn't think like John F. Kennedy. They think it's just him. The people aren't willing to do it. And also, they think they've been very disorganized when it came to the shooting of the kid doing it. They think they were disorganized, not looking for anybody else besides this young person. So Joe doesn't think the kid did it. He thinks someone else did it, that he was the scapegoat kind of thing. I'm going to ask, does Joe think it's someone from his organization, his inner circle? Please tell me. Or he doesn't know, he had no clue who did it. Can you answer? Joe, do you know if it's from anybody, your inner circle? I know I said this was going to be Erika's main thing, but I wanted to bring that out. Joe, do you think anybody from your inner circle, your family, or that'd be terrible, but this is entertainment purposes, I always say that. His inner circle, like the church, or a friend, he knew someone who was out to get him, didn't want him to speak, and he wanted to not be involved in the church anymore, so he was going to leave and just make YouTube videos, and they didn't want that. So can you tell me, did you know the people who did it? Let me see. Did he know the people? He was overwhelmed with imbalanced chaos. They were fighting in his group. I think he knew that something could happen to him, even though, they probably said, oh, you should wear one of those vests. You should wear one of those vests to keep you, and he didn't want that. So he was overwhelmed with, like organization. They didn't plan it. You know how the Pope has that thing around him? Charlie didn't have any protection to cover him, so they were very unorganized on that. They let him, be like John Lennon and all these celebrities roam, and John F. Kennedy and stuff like that. They were very unorganized on that. They felt like he was being weak, saying what he says, given his politics. They thought he was asked, I'm not saying he asked for it, but they're saying you better be careful because karma might bite you. And he was impatient on, I'm not going to censor what I'm saying. I'm not going to censor what I'm doing. He felt sick. I think he had health problems. I'll look that up in another reading. Did he have health problems? And another another one. And he abused power. He was into power. He liked to be popular. He liked to be the one in control. There was translation ending. There was a new thing beginning. He had some illness and something. I think he knew he might die eventually, young. It doesn't mean always death, but with this one, he wanted freedom. He wanted freedom. He knew that his time on Earth was short, and he had to change, and he had transformation. Maybe he didn't want to continue going to do the the church of the religion church. I think he just was tired of it. Maybe he was burnt out, and he also was worried about his health and someone might be coming out to get him. I think it was both. He's worried that someone might be getting out to get him. Also, that he wanted to leave the religion thing and try something else. He was sick of it. He didn't really want to do it. And he wanted freedom. He wanted to get out and be with the people. He wanted to make more YouTube videos. He didn't like to be in the church. He wanted to get out of there and leave. He wanted to withdraw and leave it. He wanted to leave. and he wanted to leave. He wanted to leave, and he wanted to end the relationship with his wife and the relationship with the church. Um, but it was unrealistic because he knew a lot of people would be pissed off that he'd want to leave the charity and his church. So he knew it could be unrealistic, him doing that. And people were ruthless. And he was fearful of the unknown. So he was fearful that someone might getting out to get him. So it doesn't really say. But I'm going to ask 5 more cards. Was he worried? In the death card, it was transformation. He wanted to leave the church and the religion and the kind of religion church. And he wanted the freedom, but he knew that people wouldn't want to let him go. So he was fearful. I think he was fearful that people wouldn't. So I'm going to ask 5 more cards. Was he fearful for his life, Charlie? Was he afraid that someone was going to, in the inner circle? It doesn't say. Wow. Yeah, he was. He had childhood memories of what he was like when he was a kid, before he died. He probably had a premonition, or he thought when you die, when you get shot or something, maybe he had flashbacks of his childhood before he died. I know that's from a movie and stuff. Or he had a premonition, like when he was sleeping, he remembered his childhood and being carefree. He wanted to be carefree, being like a child. He wanted harmony when he was dying. He knew that he wanted harmony. He didn't want to go out, but he did, and he wanted to show people that he was a good person and had good influence. That he was a good person. The Republican Party think he's a good person. The people who believed in him, he wanted them to think he was a good person. And solutions. He wanted people to like him, even though he had a difference of an opinion. And there were arguments. People were fighting against his beliefs and said, "Oh, we don't believe in what you do." And he accepted that, but he challenged them. He didn't. There were breakups and disconnection and he was despair. He was upset that people, didn't like his politics and his views. So he was upset over that. And his, like I said, he wanted a divorce from the church. He wanted a divorce from his wife. He wanted a divorce. He wanted a divorce. He knew something was going to happen. A broken conflict. I think there was conflict. There was very much conflict. And he thought he was nurturing with his kids before he died. Before he died, and he was a good father. He was a good father figure. Charlie, he loved his kids and his family. He looked out for them. He's a good father. He was a good father, Charlie Kirk. You might say a lot of bad things about him, but he was a good father for his children. And he wanted a divorce. He wanted a divorce from Erika. Was not happy in the relationship. And it didn't say if she cheated on him, but she wasn't happy in the relationship either. So they both weren't happy in the relationship. Maybe I'll make a part 3 of Charlie Kirk, because I think he knew that someone was out to get him, but he wasn't sure to be taken serious to wear one of those life jackets. So, he was sad that people wanted to argue him. He just wanted people to, have a right to their opinion, and he had a right to an opinion. But he didn't want to argue and have fist fights. He was not all about that. He was more into the, let's just debate. So into my next video, take care and bye.